Hello, my name's Artemis, and there's no real sense in wasting time on an intro because we all know what's going on. Twitter is dying, and we're going to talk about it, so let's just get into it. So, what exactly is going on, I hear you ask? The voices in my head, anyway, because I can't hear you lot through the fucking screen. Well, I don't really think I need to go into too much detail, because who doesn't know? Twitter has been slowly dying on its ass for a while now, but Elon Musk fucked around and found out when he, signed a fucking contract that says he has to make good on the contract, and was forced to buy Twitter at long last. And of course, ego overrules common sense in most cases, and he did what anybody would do when they've been called nasty names on the internet, and just start firing people. And now Twitter has gone from a slow decline to a kind of quicker decline, and we're not really sure where things are going to end up. It's been pretty big news for a while, and even before this happened, Twitter's kind of just been a bit of a odd space where things have been getting very radicalized and such. But with this recent acceleration of, somebody not liking what other people have to say, despite being, completely pro free speech, they decided to put their money where their mouth is, and they have a lot of money, and, well, the modern day equivalent of this happened.
Wow, you're being mean to me. I'm taking my ball and going home. Wow, you're calling me mean names on the internet. I'm taking your ball and I'm gonna fucking burn it.
So yes, we're very much in the fucking around finding out portion of this. I don't think we've quite reached the finding out, but fucking around, for sure, because we're toying with all of these random little fucking features and, not actually fully understanding how a website works and just deciding that, everything is an entertainment show, apparently, because if somebody dares talk back to you, fire their ass. And I'm sure that's just going absolutely great. Just, firing all the people that actually keep this fucking website working, totally sound idea.
I'm in charge of the media moderation team. We make sure that all of the media is not harmful or banned, or in some cases illegal. I work on Twitter's political misinformation pages, so we go through a lot of political articles and make sure that we're given the right facts and that we're not being manipulated by, fascist states. I just work. I'm just a janitor. I just clean the toilets. Who the fuck is Elon Musk?
So Twitter has basically gone from a very profitable business with lots of advertising revenue to sinking ship that the advertisers are fleeing that isn't even really all that stable to begin with either. And unless you like working 80-hour crunch weeks, then get fucked, basically. So yeah, that's quite an impressive turnaround for having owned the company for a couple of weeks. So obviously that's got people thinking, oh no, what if Twitter goes down for good? Where do we go? What do we do? Well, that's the really difficult part, is that Twitter kind of became its own thing, kind of like Facebook did, where, it's its own brand of content, and as much as, you can make a competitor to Facebook, no one's going to go to it. Remember that Google? That stupid, circle shit you did? No one fucking went to that. That died on its ass as well. And the same thing sort of happened with Twitter. You can make a competitor, but Twitter's there, so people aren't going to go. We're kind of in the position now where people are going to go, and some of the old favourites like Facebook and Tumblr are not so favourable anymore because, we all remember what happened with Tumblr banning the porn in a really poorly executed way. First of all, terrible fucking idea. Porn is what keeps the internet running, for fuck's sake. Second of all, that algorithm that was just so fucking laughably shit. I swear they were deliberately making a joke at themselves at that point, because they'd already spunked their net worth up against the wall, so what was the point in doing anything serious anymore? And of course, Facebook, which has just become boomer heaven, and, unless you want all of your relatives to see your shit posting and have your online profile attached to whatever family photos have been embarrassingly uploaded, it's not really worth going to. And plus, you don't have that free scrolling wall like you do on Twitter, where you can follow people, but you don't have to be mutuals, and it's a tough sort of void to fill. But fill it, some companies are obviously going to try to do, and the two biggest ones coming out of this debacle, though most likely pretty happy this is happening, because hey shit, they're taking off, is of course Mastodon and Hive, two slightly different social media account network things that can be a good little thing to flee to, but we still have the problem that you can't just directly whip Twitter off. Someone couldn't just decide to make Twitter, but instead of it being themed around birds, it was themed around bears, and just call it like bitter much. There's an idea. They can't just carbon copy the fucking thing, obviously. So there are some differences that take a bit of getting used to, and unfortunately, we're talking about humans, and humans don't like change. Change is scary, change is bad. So migrating to somewhere else and starting again is not the most favourable thing in the world. A lot of people are going to still keep Twitter going, and plus, you know, numbers mean everything in this modern world of ours, and if you've spent a long time cultivating a high follower count, you're not going to be too happy to have to try and drag all those people over to a new platform, because, you know, audience retention across platforms is never going to be 100%. So, yeah, there is a level of enticement to stay where you are, even if the whole building is on fire and the madman who is in control of all of that is just gleefully lighting matches and pouring gas everywhere. But of course that leads you to think, well, what is going to happen? Because there's so many little outcomes, and I have made several predictions for how I think this is all going to go. And yes, you are correct. We are going to go through them. First of all, what I would see is most likely the least likely scenario to happen, and that's that Musk faces up to the realities of the situation, faces up that his decisions that he's made as a knee-jerk reaction to the situation are not what's best for business, and he has to eat an entire fucking Walmart full of humble pie to call these engineers back to get the site back to where it needs to be. He has to U-turn on policies, he has to decide to not be a dick, and generally what's best for business is, you know, letting people who know how to do their job do their job. What percentage do I think, what chance do I think that this has of actually happening? Not fucking much. Scenario 2, prediction 2, whatever. Twitter is kind of a little bit too big to fail. Not in the sense of, like, it will never go away, but more in terms of it's kind of filled a niche that wasn't even there to begin with, where it is a source of information, it is a source of news, but more importantly, it's a platform for the people without platforms. When shit goes on in parts of the world where we can only trust these biased and, you know, corporately run news agencies, we can actually get the real shit from the people on the ground. Look at the Ukraine situation. Twitter has been vital in getting a lot of information out of there. So Twitter being a little bit too big to just disappear and die on its ass means that it's likely someone would turn up and say, hey, you don't fuck this up, son. How about we take it off your hands at a cheaper price? I could quite easily see a competitor, someone else who would have wanted to buy Twitter, stepping up to Musk and saying, look, you've kind of fucked this up entirely. You know you have. Why don't we just buy it off you and you can call it quits? You tried to get out of the deal anyway and they wouldn't let you, so what do you reckon? Just swallow your losses and go? Again, I'm not sure this is all that likely, but I think it's more likely than Musk seeing sense. Of course, there is the prediction that it does just continue how it's going and Musk fucks it up entirely. All of the staff get burnt out and just leave, and by the end of it, it's Musk and like 5 other fucking tech bros that are dick riding him the entire time, desperately trying to keep the site going as it just slowly crumbles and fails and dies on its ass, and we just have this broken, scripted bullshit left over to remember the good times. I kind of feel like that's actually pretty likely, to be fair. I could see him deliberately going down with this ship if he has to. Now, this one might seem a little bit like the first, but this is less Musk seeing the light and more Musk having absolutely no choice, because a sharp downturn in advertising revenue and user numbers would mean that you have to U-turn on some policies, and it would not be graceful. It would be in that sort of way like, yeah, well, we're going to stop doing this because it's bad and it's harmful. But you're the one that did it. No, I didn't. Shut the fuck up. We're fixing the problems. I could see that being a fucking easy get out of jail free card to get this platform back to where it needs to be, of just, well, money talks, so this bullshit better walk. Let's fix it. Probably one of the more favourable scenarios to happen, which would be very interesting. Do you know what happens when you fire everybody that built a website and keeps it running? Well, all of those people no longer have a job, and they're very good at that website and keeping that website running. And there's nothing stopping them getting together and saying, well, fuck it. Why don't we just make our own version? And that, I think, would be a really good way forward. Like, Musk literally just spends 44 billion on nothing, and all of the people that he's fired get together, make their own version of social media platforms, make their own changes without the fucking corporate elite breathing down their necks, band together, make their own shit. We trust it, we know it, because it's the same people that have been making Twitter, and we get a good alternative that we can all jump to. Kind of not so great for Hive and Mastodon, but it would be very interesting to see that happen. I'm not sure how likely it is, because, you know, Twitter engineers are probably pretty good at their jobs, and places like Mastodon, Hive, and other social media franchises are likely to try and snap them up. So, yeah, it could happen, probably not. And my final little prediction that would be funny as fuck, Musk inadvertently breaks the fucking law, whether it's from privacy laws, copyright laws, or fucking anything, actually, because he's really dancing on a knife edge as it is, okay? He inadvertently breaks the laws, thinks that he's above it, and gets roundly fucked for his troubles. That might, I reckon, would be funny as fuck. I'm not sure how likely that is, because there are still other staff members at twitter.com, so it's likely he could be talked out of it, but then he wasn't able to be talked out of, you know, making these stupid jokes in the first place, and here we are, so... But yes, that is obviously the news of the day, and I will be setting up a fucking Mastodon and Hive account, because gotta have that backup plan, that escape route. Every sinking ship has a lifeboat that you can try and escape, even if you've got to Billy Zane your way through with someone else's kid. It's fine. But thank you for watching. Let me know what exactly you think of all of this shit. Do you have any other predictions? Because I just pulled these out of my ass, but I still think they're plausible. If you did like this video, and you just generally like me, I mean, who doesn't, apart from me, maybe you would like to support us by checking out the merchandise, or when that graphic is finished, I'm sure it will change to a Patreon one, because that would be lovely and generous, and I mean, hell, you get some shit as well, some nice rewards. What's not to love? Just do it. But yes, Twitter is obviously a very hot button topic issue right now that's entertaining to talk about, and it is kind of funny to open up the news every day and think, what's he done now? At least this time it's not like Trump, where, you know, Musk is just running a random website where you post memes. Trump was running a whole fucking country with a nuclear arsenal, so there's less fear of annihilation nowadays, at least. I think we can call that progress. Probably not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!